Why did so many Nazis escape to Argentina? Now, I've heard about this, you know what I'm saying? I've heard it through the grapevine and stuff that Adolf was sending people or his like soldiers or whatever so they didn't get caught to the country. And like, I forgot whose video I saw. It was either a Tyler Oliveira video or I don't know what it was, but literally there's this town in Argentina and they only speak German. And it's like full of old people. Now there's younger people because I'm assuming, you know, they had kids or whatever. But it's literally like the weirdest ever, bro. It's kind of wild that like, yeah, they just never did anything about it, or nobody like researched it or nothing like that. Like they could have just been living there like forever. Governments around the world could have a chance to actually get information from them, but it just never happened. But yeah, let's go ahead and see this video.
Nazis' post-war escape to Argentina. When World War II ended in 1945,
by the way, didn't they just never find his body? That's why there was a rumor that he was like alive or something. I wouldn't be surprised, bro. How the f did they not find a body for the most evil man in the world? They're just like, nah, you know, it happened. He went somewhere. All we know is that he's dead. He's gone.
Leading Nazi officials and prominent members of the party were either found dead, were arrested, or in many cases, had simply vanished. Those who were arrested faced justice for their war crimes and crimes against humanity at the Nuremberg trials. There were those who escaped, however, who were never found and never experienced retribution for their horrific actions during the war. It seems almost unreal that such prominent, well-known individuals could just disappear. But unfortunately, not everyone was horrified by the Nazis' actions. And despite the war ending, these men still had friends in high places willing to help them take on new identities. Usually, these Nazis ended up scattered across the world, with a large number heading to North and South American countries, including Brazil and Paraguay. But the most popular and most researched escapee destination
I wonder if some of them are still alive now or whatever, if they still have the same ideals or if like their mind changed. Let's be real, their mind didn't change. You know damn well, bro, their mind did not change, bro. Thinking, bro, you around, you know what I'm saying, South America, you around some nice merengue music and stuff, and you around shit like that, you know, you might change your ideals. You might be like, you know, blonde hair and blue eyes, maybe that's not like the only thing we need in the world, you know, maybe we need some of this. Now they didn't change their mind.
Was Argentina. Why Argentina?
It was definitely
Argentina,
the government definitely
despite
accepted
its large
them.
Jewish population, was known for its growing anti-Semitism before and during the war. It was also the last country to enter World War II, with historian Gerald Steinbacher referring to the Argentinian population as Germanophile. It was a country that already had a difficult history with its Jewish
But how did they have like a more Jewish population? Like, was it the Latinos there were it? Or like, I feel like it's not a common religion they're associated with, right? Or identity.
population. In the inauguration of
Had to be like
anti-Semitic
Europeans or
President
something
Juan
there.
Perón in 1946 only further emphasized this fact. His goal was to modernize Argentina and its army, and believed specialists from Germany and Austria could help facilitate this. Perón was a self-professed admirer of Hitler's Germany and Mussolini's Italy, something which was
You
highlighted.
know, the amount of countries that agreed with him. Hey guys, Tom NFG here. You know, only half of you guys are subscribed and even less of you guys have noties on. I hate to be a burden, but you know, I really appreciate it if you hit that sub button and the little bell next to it. You know, it doesn't take long. I know you can get mixed up in the algorithm and everything. But yeah, also tune into the streams. You know, we have a lot of fun over there. I'm telling you, we have a lot of parties going on over there. Yeah, that's it. Bye. Damn. Needs to be studied. I think if I search up the amount of like countries that agree with him, like, bro, it's gonna be actually like crazy. Bro, do y'all see the amount of countries that agreed, bro? This is what I asked ChatGPT. I just asked it what countries agreed with him. Italy. Okay, some of these are like basics. Like we kind of already knew about this. Japan. I didn't know Romania did. Slovakia, Croatia, Spain. It says Argentina to a limited extent. Huh, funny enough. Yeah, to a limited extent where they were like, you know what? Hey, come over and live over here so you're not prosecuted for your war crimes and shit. That's the full extent, man. They invited them basically to their house and said, hey, pull up, man. Not the people, the actual government. You know, I'm not talking about the people there and shit.
In his 5-year plan announced for 1947 through 1951. In it, Perón laid down a set of guidelines that
The glazing is insane, bro.
catered to German and Italian immigrants with a list of preferred countries of origin. Perón and many other political leaders recognized the advantage of these Nazi specialists residing in their countries, despite global opposition. There had been great technological and medicinal advancements during the war, despite the horrific ways in which some of these were achieved, and no one wanted to be left behind by not securing these specialists who could progress their country's armies, economics, and industries, and were willing to turn a blind eye to who they were and the atrocities they had committed. Argentina in particular recruited heavily from Nazi officials, Wehrmacht officers, and former SS men, On a global level, it had been agreed that Nazi
I wonder if they ever got in trouble for like helping them and stuff.
scientists should be ostracized and all war criminals extradited, with Argentina agreeing not to take in anyone from the Axis countries without the Allies' permission. Perón did not adhere to this, and a 1953 CIA report found, quote, evidence of intention to carry on Nazi activities and of belief in Nazi resurgence in Germany and other parts of the world has been apparent among Germans in Argentina since 1946. Unquote. However, it is with true irony that the USA criticized Argentina so heavily, as they did not adhere to these policies themselves and frequently took in German scientists among others. The exact
Bro, the US is like the best at hiding shit, bro. It's crazy the amount of shit, bro, in US history they just got away with. They could criticize other countries and stuff, and it's like under the low for real. Like, there's a lot of shit, bro. Like, slavery was one of the things, though, they were like, damn, now we can't hide this, bro. I mean, they still will try to hide it. Like, certain places will try to not say the actual history and how brutal it is and stuff like that. That's like the one thing, like, globally everybody knows. Like, everybody knows the US did it the most and was the craziest at it. But like other things like this, probably like secret dealings with Russia and all these other countries for evil things just to boost the US, man. It's like, hey, man, we didn't know about this, man. We don't know. It's classified, so.
Numbers of those who escaped to the Americas is impossible to quantify due to the changing of identities, forging official documents, and in some cases, complete covering up by the receiving government. Estimates vary quite dramatically. Steinacher points out that the Argentinian Commission of Historians lists 180 biographies of prominent Nazis, perpetrators, and war criminals from across Austria, Germany, France, Belgium, and Yugoslavia, but that they only focused on the most well-known people. Historian Holger Medding estimated...
Yeah, because even back then, they could never track, like, the amount of people that had, like, hidden identities after and were just, like, to live, like, a normal life. Like, there's probably a lot more.
Where between 300 and 800 senior Nazi officials who escaped justice, including 50 mass murderers and war criminals.
Damn.
And historian Volker Kopp predicted in 2009 that there were 600 Nazi and military experts from Germany and Austria alone, all of which are much higher estimates than the official figure provided by the Argentinian Commission. The Wiesenthal Center, named after famed historian and Nazi hunter Simon Wiesenthal, puts the official figures of Nazi party members in Argentina much higher at 1,400, and with over 12,000 supporting members.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's that, because the amount of people they had to do for, like, the atrocities they did and, like, the amount of things they would have to go through, it would have to be, like, a large amount of people, like a large amount of leaders.
And an additional 8,000 other affiliates. How did Nazis escape to Argentina in the first place? Of course, before making their way to Argentina, prominent Nazi officials first had to flee the Axis countries in Europe itself. This was done with the establishment of what were called rat lines, escape routes from specific places in Western Europe to South America. These rat lines...
They took that long-ass trip, bro, and this is like, damn, this is before planes were big. Like, did they have planes? Like, actual, like, just like planes, it was easier for them? I don't know.
Were further facilitated by Perón.
Point is, it was way harder than it would have been today.
However, help, of course, came from Nazi sympathizers, including those in high places in Europe itself. Incredibly, one source of which was the last place on Earth that anyone would expect was the Vatican itself. Set up in 1947, was an
Pope, you gonna respond to that, dog? Probably the old Pope, but like, you relatable because you the Pope. You got the name Pope. You're the Pope.
underground network called Odessa, which stood for the Organization of SS Members and was a secret escape organization developed to aid SS soldiers in disappearing from Germany via northern Italy along two major escape routes. These were Bremen to Rome and Bremen to Genoa, from where members of the Red Cross and Vatican priests, alongside other agents, would help secure the documents needed for the SS officials to construct a new identity and flee Europe. Simon Wiesenthal, the Nazi hunter who tracked down some of these escaped members, described the Odessa network as thorough and efficient, later discovering a third route between Austria and Italy that was aided by the Catholic Church and Franciscan friars in particular. The Vatican themselves, despite hiding Jewish citizens during the war, were also heavily involved in these escape rat lines.
So they just couldn't make a decision. They were hiding Jewish citizens. And then they were also like, nah, you know what, for the Yahtzees, man, cool too, y'all can come through, man. Maybe they were trying to be peaceful? Bro. I don't get if they were trying to like push peace between everybody or something, but like, I don't know what the point of them doing that was.
Often forging and procuring documents for the escaping Nazi officials. This has also been corroborated by multiple other accounts and historians' findings, with one Croatian priest and Vatican representative, Krunoslav Draganović, being a major player in helping the officials escape Italy, obtain forged documents, and make their way to Argentina. Another major player in helping Nazis escape was Special Agent former SS Hauptsturmführer and German Argentinian Carlos Horst Fuldner. As it became clear the war was going—
That's how they had to do papers back then? This is before the printing press, but like, damn, they had to like roll a fucking— oh, hell nah, bro.
To end unfavorably for the Axis powers, Fuldner appeared in Berlin. From there,
oh yeah, fight!
he
Punch him!
with Argentine immigration to procure visas and employment for escapees from Germany, Austria, France, Belgium, the Netherlands, Slovakia, and Croatia. Later in 1945, Fuldner traveled to Spain, where he set up additional escape routes for members of the SS. When his own extradition was ordered in 1947, he too escaped to Argentina using the lines he had helped set
He
up.
just ended his life.
Which Nazis escaped? We can never list every senior official that escaped justice, but there are some names more famous than others. 3 of which who were extremely high up in the Nazi party and some of the worst committers of atrocities.
Bro, and a lot of governments too. Dude, the people at the top are always gonna get away with it. It don't matter what they do. Don't matter if they start a war or something. They could literally just are gonna be able to pay somebody off. They're almost never gonna get caught because it's like they already know a leeway or escape from it. Like this happens all the time around the world. Like it happens all the time in the US, bro. Employee or whatever, somebody in the top position could go rogue and they just get like pardoned by the president or some shit. It is what it is. Nothing we could do about it.
Were Franz Stangl, Adolf Eichmann, and Josef Mengele. Fortunately, 2 of them did not evade justice for very long. Adolf Eichmann. Adolf Eichmann was a—
There was another person with the name Adolf? I'm surprised bro didn't execute him for like trying to steal his goddamn name or something, bro.
Cold, hard, unfeeling man. He simply saw killing Jewish people as his duty in his role as an SS Obersturmbannführer. He was one of the SS soldiers that Wiesenthal dedicated years to tracking down and helping to extradite. There were differing accounts of the exact route of his escape.
Goofy-ass car.
All seem to agree that Eichmann reached Rome with the help of Croatians and received a Vatican identity card, wherein he fled to Argentina. It wasn't until 1960 that Wiesenthal helped uncover his new location by looking at enlarged photographs of Eichmann's brothers in order to help identify the man 15 years after he was last seen. From there, he was tracked down in Argentina and captured on May 23, 1960, afterwards being sent to an Israeli prison where he was later executed by hanging. Franz Stangl. Franz Stangl was a concentration camp commandant who was involved in the earliest extermination programs in mental institutions like Hartheim before becoming a concentration camp commandant. Although he was actually captured and imprisoned, Stangl managed to make it out in 1948.
What is this goofy-ass armor, bro?
With the help of a bishop at the Vatican, who helped him and other SS officers escape to Argentina. However, Stangl only got as far as Brazil, where he was extradited in 1970, dying in a Dusseldorf prison a year later. Josef Mengele. Finally, there was the Angel of Death, Josef Mengele.
He got the name Angel of Death and they let bro escape? Oh, they're tripping.
Famous for his horrific concentration camp experiments on children, particularly twins, Mengele earned the moniker Angel of Death. During the Nuremberg trials, he actually evaded notice until 1950, at which point he used the Odessa rat lines to escape to Argentina. There, he continued to work as a doctor, eventually adding an extra layer of protection to his disguise when he obtained a passport from Paraguay. Although Wiesenthal meticulously tracked Mengele down more than once, there was pushback from the Argentinian authorities, and when they finally issued a warrant for his arrest in June 1960, it was too late. Josef Mengele had already fled to Brazil on the day of Eichmann's capture, where he remained until his death in 1979. It is said that he never showed any remorse for his crimes, and is widely considered one of the most evil Nazis ever to evade justice by fleeing to Argentina.
God, the amount of cover-ups that happened, bro. There was a clear-cut moment in the world where they were like, yeah, this is the worst atrocities to ever happen. We're gonna go solve this. A bunch of countries like, I don't know, Vatican City or whatever, they're probably like, yeah, we gotta take them down. And then underhand or something, they were like, okay, come over here. You can stay over here. Argentina's like, oh yeah, y'all can come over here and shit. But then when they were talking to all the other countries, they're like, yeah, no, we gotta get them. It's crazy, bro. Interesting video. The amount of goddamn cover-ups, like, bro, it's just like actually insane. Nowadays, I'm hoping that they can't get away as much with this, especially if something like, I wouldn't even want to say something like this ever happens again, bro. That would be the end of the world at this point, I feel like. The world would just end if that started to happen. Yeah, if you're watching on the tube, make sure to join the Discord and watch the streams.
Subscribe to Tommy and FG.